Let us all be reminded that we are in the most holy presence of God. Lord God, Heavenly King, Father and Lord, thank you for this very beautiful night you have given us. I am hoping and praying that as we have our discussion tonight, you will bless each one of us, keep us all safe night and day. We pray, amen. Okay, so a pleasant evening to all, and I hope that you are doing well po sa inyo. Good evening, and for tonight, we will be discussing items 31 to 60 of your diagnostic test. So I hope you have the copy of your test with you because we will now discuss them. So I hope that you are ready po, and let's see kung ilan po yung makukuha natin. Hopefully, we could get as many items correct as possible. Okay. So let's have now the discussion of items 31 to 60, and this meeting is being recorded as well. Let's have item number 31. I bought 3 shirts at 250 pesos each and 2 shorts at 214 pesos each. If I gave the cashier 3 500 peso banknotes, how much is my change? What's your answer po? Did you go for A, B, C, or D? Okay. So far, I could see a lot of these coming from some of the participants or some of the reviewees. And I think, let's see if you got it. To determine the total price of all the items you paid, of course, since you bought 3 shirts, so the total price of those 3 shirts is 3 times 250 pesos. And the total price of those 2 shorts is 2 times 214 pesos. So simplifying this 2 gives you 1,178 pesos, which is the total price of all the items you bought. Remember that you gave the cashier 3 500 peso notes. So that means that you gave the cashier 3 times 500 pesos, which is 1,500 pesos. And to get your change, all you have to do is subtract your money, the amount that you paid, with the total amount of your purchase. And therefore, your change should be 1,500 pesos minus 1,178 pesos, and that gives you 322 pesos. Indeed, the correct answer here is letter D. So, good job po. Okay. So, sa lahat ng nag-comment ng D, galing, tama po. 32. Which of the following has a value that is different from the rest? Is it 3.34, 15 over 4, 3 3/4, or 3.75? According to everyone, to everyone who commented, there are 7 of you, 8 who commented. You believe that the correct answer here is A. And is A correct? So in doing problems or in having items like this, the best option could be converting all of the choices into one form. Either you convert everything to decimal, or to percent as well, or fraction, and let's see or check which one has a different value from the rest. And I believe if you will use your calculator, 15/4, 3 3/4 is equal to 15/4, by the way. So that's 4 times 3. That's 12. Then you add the numerator. So that's 15 over 4. And 3.75 is equal to 3 3/4 as well. That's why B, C, and D are equal. And 3.34 is different from the rest. So tama nga po na yung sinagot po natin ay letter A. So good job po. Okay. So far so good. Let's proceed to number 33. Okay, check nyo po. A car can travel 432 kilometers with 9 liters of gasoline. At such rate, how much distance can 5 liters of gasoline travel? According to Ma'am Catherine, letter A daw. Sabi ni Ma'am Vanisha, ni Sir PJ. And let's see. To everyone who commented for 33, you are also convinced na letter A yung sagot po natin. Okay. If you don't mind po, how do you solve problems like this? Ano po yung ginamit ninyong method? Okay, sabi ni Ma'am Judy, gumamit daw siya ng ratio. According to Ma'am Mariel, cost product daw. Or Sir Freddy said, distance equals speed. You mean times time probably, sir? It's speed times time po, yung distance. So, paki-check lang po, sir. And actually, there are many ways of solving problems like this po. Okay? And my process here is different, but don't worry. It would yield the same answer as well. So, a liter of gasoline can cover a distance. Remember that 9 liters could be used to travel a distance of 432 kilometers. That's why to get what we call the unit rate, all we have to do is divide the distance with the rate, with the time, this one rather. 432 kilometers divided by 9 liters. So that tells you that it's 48 kilometers per liter, or 48 kilometers for every 1 liter. And with such, so since every liter could be used to travel 48 kilometers, then for 5 liters, what should we do with 5 and 48? We should, I agree with Ma'am Vanessa, we have to multiply 5 liters with 48 kilometers per liter, and that gives you 240 kilometers indeed. So letter A po yung ating tamang sagot. So iba-iba po yung processing yun, no? Let's see, yung kay Ma'am Maria Ani, kay Ma'am Vanessa, parehas din po ata. Yung ginamit naman ni Ma'am Mariel is tama po yan, ma'am. Distance is 2 liters equals x, which is the distance, is 2 liters. So it's 432:9. Check po yung ating chat. 432:9 equals x is to 5. And you could actually see po, no, na yung product ng extremes natin will be equal to the product of the means. That's why tama rin po yung sinabi nyo na 432 times 5 divided by 9. Okay, salamat po. Okay. 34. If a certain amount of money will be shared equally by 12 people, then each one will get 360 pesos. How much in Philippine pesos will each one get if there are 18 people who will share the same amount? 200, 240, 280, or 300? Okay, so far, to everyone who commented, you answered letter B. Okay. If you don't mind po, may I ask you to open your microphone and tell us what you did po? Sir Kim Baltar, ano po yung ginawa ninyo? If you don't mind po. Sir.
Ano sir, 12 people multiplied by 360, then divided by 18.
Okay. I agree with that, sir. So thank you po. And again po ha, from time to time, I have to remind the body na kung na-remember po, if possible, let's close our microphone. You will only be allowed to open your microphone if you are given the floor po. Salamat. Okay, so I do agree with Sir Kim, and I think the same sentiment was also given by the other reviewees as well. So the total amount of money could be determined by multiplying the number of people and the amount each one get. That's why each of the 12 people received 360 pesos. So the total amount of money should be 12 times 360 pesos, which is 4,320 pesos. And now, this 4,320 pesos is the amount that will be shared equally among 18 people. That is the reason why we have to divide 4,320 pesos with 18, and this gives us 240 pesos. So sa lahat po ng sumagot ng B, be happy because you got it right. Thank you. Good job. Do we have questions po or clarifications about this item? Okay, none so far. Okay, thank you po, Ma'am Koki, for commenting. Let's have the next item. Thank you din po, Sir Kim. Let's have 35. Sorry, the question is, how much is the interest when 45,000 pesos is invested at 3% simple interest for 5 years? Did you go for 4,340, 5,750, 5,850, or 6,750? Okay, so far, D ang sagot ng mga nag-comment. And nag-comment si Ma'am Alchin that we will be using the formula I equals PRT. And I do agree with that. This is the formula for simple interest po. To compute for simple interest, we use the formula I equals PRT, where I is the simple interest, P is the principal amount or the amount one invested, R is the interest rate, which is usually expressed as a decimal or as a fraction, and lastly, T is a time, which is expressed in terms of years. So based on what Mr. Mitra commented, I do agree with that. That's why you have 45,000 pesos times 3%, which is in decimal is 0.03 or 300, times the time, which is 5 years. And doing this or simplifying this using our calculators gives us, very good po, 6,750 pesos. So it has to be letter D. Okay. So sa lahat po ng sumagot ng D, you got it right. Thank you. All right. Let's proceed to item number 36. How much in all will the total money in the bank be when I invest 100,000 pesos at 8% simple interest for 7 years? I think iba-iba po yung question siguro. Ito po yung 36 natin. Iba po ata. So, may I ask po, is this question the same as the one? Wala yan dito sa inyo. Ay, okay. Siguro yung naibigay ko ata sa inyo is it's a different copy or probably it's an older version pa. But I think I was able to correct that one. Okay, so or siguro baka mali lang po yung pagka-copy paste ko. So sige, anyway po, if you will be given the chance to answer this question, I hope you have your calculators with you. Please solve po this one. And Don't worry, no, if you answered B for 36, you will get it right. But for now, let's try solving this one. According to Ma'am Catherine, Sir Kim, Miss Loy, letter A daw. So, okay. So let's see. Let's wait for a few more responses. Sir PJ also said letter A. Okay. Ma'am Melody also. And okay. Sabi rin ni Ma'am Labuka, ni Ma'am Paton. Okay, letter A. So ano po yung ginawa natin dito? I think you would agree that the process is quite similar to the previous item, no? So we will still use the formula I equals PRT. However, the only difference is to get the total amount, you have to add the principal amount, or which is the amount you invested, with the interest. But again, simple interest po has the formula which is PRT. That's why the total amount could be expressed as P plus I, which is PRT. And again, by substitution po, so we have 100,000, which is the amount you invested, added by 100,000 times 0.08 times 7. This is P, or the amount you invested. This second term here is the interest, it grew. And using your calculators, 100,000 times 0.08 times 7 is 56,000. And adding 56,000 pesos to 100,000 pesos, because this 56,000 pesos, ito po yung tubo nung perang ininvest natin. So all in all, that would be 100,000 pesos, which is 156,000 pesos. So letter A po. So sa lahat po ng sumagot ng A, thank you for that one. So yes po, Sir Mitra, tama po. And I also agree with the formula of, if you would look po at our chat, no, si Sir iPhone, si Sir Freddy Tanlawan, nag-comment po siya ng F equals P times the quantity 1 plus RT. Tama po yan. Bakit ganyan po yung formula? Yung ginawa po dito ni Sir Freddy ay finactor niya po yung P. At saka if you factored P po, so what's inside the binomial, or what's inside the parentheses, I mean, is 1 plus RT. Okay, so good job po. Thank you. Okay. 37. After investing a certain amount of money at 4% simple interest rate for 3 years, my money became 89,600 pesos in all. How much was invested? Did you go for 85,000, 84,000, 80,000, or 75,000? So far, I got the following answers from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So far, I have 10 answers. And all of these 10 answers I got point to letter C. Okay, sige. May I ask po, ano po yung process na ginawa ninyo dito? Sir Freddy, may I ask po, ano po yung ginawa ninyo to solve this problem po?
Sir, good afternoon, everyone. I used the same formula that I presented on the previous question, which is F is equal to P times 1 quantity 1 plus RT. But the final amount is 89,600. I equated it into P quantity multiplied by quantity 1 plus 0.04 multiplied by 3. So it is equal now to 89,600 is equal to 1.12 P, and 89,000 divided by 1.12 is equal to 80,000. Okay. So the answer is letter C.
Okay, tama po yan. So take note po, I do agree that if you got the formula, or if you answered that one, so tama po yun. And I would also agree to Miss Loy and Quinto about the formula. In fact, as what Sir Freddy pointed out po, if TA, take note po kung ibang letter po yung ginamit ko, wala pong problema yon. Yung kung sa inyo pong ginamit ay F, wala pong problema yon. Sa akin, TA po. Kasi yung F usually final amount. Yung sa iba, TA, total amount. So depende rin po. So from this formula, I noticed we could actually see that P is a GCF of P plus PRT. That's why factoring out the GCF, which is P, this is P, then we have a term or terms inside your parentheses here. P divided by P is 1. That's why I have 1 here. Plus PRT divided by P gives you RT. That's why TA equals P times the quantity 1 plus RT. However, we are not yet done. We are interested in finding the value of our P or principal amount. And we don't need the 1 plus RT here on the right-hand side. Hence, we have to divide both sides by 1 plus RT. Doing such gives us the formula which is similar to what Ma'am Loy and Quinto gave us, which is P or the principal amount is equal to the total or final amount divided by 1 plus RT. By substitution, it becomes 89,600 based on the problem, all over 1 plus. Your interest rate was 4%. That's why R here was substituted by 4%, which is 0.04 in decimal form. And T is, the time is 3 years, so T was replaced by 3. And the rest was just calculator work po. And with that, you will get 80,000. So sa lahat po ng sumagot ng 80,000 pesos, magaling, magaling, magaling. You got it right. Okay. So far, so good po tayo. 38. How much will an amount in Philippine pesos be after 5 years?
Hello?
Yes po. Yes, sir. Would you like to say something? Oh, okay. I think na ano lang siguro. Okay. How much will an amount of in Philippine pesos be after 5 years when 70,000 pesos
Saan,
is
ma'am?
invested at 3% annually? At 3% compounded annually. Let's see po. Did you go for choice A, B, C, or D? Okay, so according to Sir PJ, Sir Freddy, Ma'am Tubil, A, I could see a lot of A's. And Sir PJ Mitra here was able to mention about the formula now. Okay, Sir Freddy, it's okay. So that you have that one. And actually, you are actually correct there po. So I hope, no, in this case, I used different variables. But don't worry, the formula is still the same. F here represents the final amount, or it's like your total amount. P sub O represents, or P sub 0 represents the amount 1 invested. R is the interest rate here still. S, it's like your season something. If it's annual, then your S is equal to 1. If it's semi-annual, or it's for example like that, semi-annual, your S is 2. If it's quarterly, ano dapat yung S mo kung quarterly? 4. Because your S here would represent the number of times na i-compound siya. Kung ano naman, kung monthly, ilan yung S natin dito kung monthly siya? Tama. So kung monthly naman ay magiging 12. So in this case, annually po ata no, yung ating question. That's why your S here will be replaced by 1. And with that, F is equal to the amount, which is 70,000 multiplied by 1 plus your interest rate was 3%. In decimal form, it's 0.03 all over S, which is 1. You might ask, bakit 1? Kasi nga annual. And so all S's were replaced by 1. And your time is 5 years. That's why T is 5. Using your calculator, if I would simplify the terms inside your parentheses, it will become 1.03. And the exponent here, 1 times 5, it's 5. Noted po, Ma'am Annalie. So we will be uploading this naman po sa ating group po. Thank you. Thank you for informing po. Now, so with such, 1.03 raised to 5. Take note po ha, you have to raise the 1.03 to 5 first before multiplying it with 70,000. And that gives us a final amount of approximately 81,149 pesos and 19 centavos. So sa lahat po ng sumagot ng A, very good. A di wow. Kayo na. Okay, good job po. Thank you po. Anong number ba to? 38 po, no? Tama? Yes, tama po yun, sir. Maganda po ang compounding. Especially, it's very good po, no? If you invest in compound interest. Kasi, usually, mas malaki po yung tutubuin niya compared po sa ating simple interest. Yes, tama po. Okay? Okay, let's proceed. May tanong po or wala naman? Wala naman. If you have questions or clarifications po, feel free to type it in our chat. Or kung gusto niyo po, nahiya kayo, i-message nyo lang, direct message nyo lang po sa akin. Okay, salamat. 39. How much will an amount in Philippine pesos be after 7 years when 120,000 pesos is invested at 4% compounded quarterly? Is it A, B, C, or D? So far, marami yung sumagot ng A. At sabi ni Ma'am Catherine, same formula lang po. Okay, I think you would agree with me that your P sub O, or the amount you invested, will be 120,000. 4% is your rate, which is in decimal, will be 0.04. However, you could see po, no, that you will invest this in 7 years, so your T has to be 7. However, ano po yung S sa formula natin? Ano pong S? Kasi you will be investing it at something that could be compounded quarterly. Okay, so tama. So your S will be replaced by 4 times. Sa isang taon, 4 times siyang i-compound. Okay. So by substitution again to the same formula po, we will get 120,000 pesos multiplied by 1 plus your interest rate, which is 0.04. And since your S it's quarterly, so you said S should be substituted by 4. And the S, you have also an S in the numerator. That's why you will have 4 multiplied by the time, which is 7 years. And I believe, so you consider also in the work of Mr. Mitra, that this will be 120,000 times 1.01. The inside here will simplify to 1.01. And we have the 4 times 7 here, which is 28. And indeed, it's approximately 158,554 pesos and 92 centavos. So again, letter A po yung ating tamang sagot. So it's good, no? So far, based on the responses I get, I am quite confident that many of us, hopefully, at least, if we don't know the answer, at least we're able to find the solution to this answer. So that's the importance there po. Okay, thank you. Do we have questions before I proceed po? Okay. So far, walang question. So far, so good po tayo. Okay, number 40. A certain product was given successive discounts of 10% and 20% in this order. Overall, the original price of the product was decreased by how many percent? Did you go for 28, 30, 32, or 33? Okay. So far, I have the answers of Sir Kim, Sir Freddy, Ma'am Catherine, Ma'am Patton, Sir Barry, Sir PJ as well. And they would give us 40, which is letter A. Okay. Same with Ma'am Mariel as well. Okay. How did you do it po? Ano po yung ginawa mo, Ma'am Judy, if you don't mind po? Ma'am Judy, hello po.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yes po, ma'am.
I use the discount here, sir, or the successive formula, which is x plus y minus x times x y divided 100. So I substitute the value of x, which is the 10%, plus the value of y, which is 20%. So equal to 30. Then I multiply 10 times 20, so that is 200, and divided at 100, so that is 2. So 30 minus 2, that's 28.
Okay, thank you po. So it's kind of notable, ma'am, no? So you have used that formula. Sir Freddy has another way. Ano po yung please explain for us, Sir Freddy, yung ginawa niyo po?
Good afternoon again. Good evening pala. Good evening na pala din. So for ease of computation, I let the original price to be 100 pesos or what $100 it may be. And then the first discount is 10%. So 10% of 100 is 10. I subtracted it from the original price, which is 100. So the resulting is 90 after the first discount. Then the second discount is 20%. So I multiply 0.20 to 90, which is 18. So the total, the final price now is 72. So 100 minus 72 is 28. Therefore, it is 28%.
Okay. Thank you for that, sir. Actually, I would agree to both of your solutions. I think the solution of Sir Freddy is pretty straightforward. You could assign by any price. So for ease of computation, I agree that it's better na, let's say 100 pesos or anything. Basta let's say 100 lang muna. So yung 10% niya, di ba, magiging 90 yon. If you subtract 10%, yung 100 magiging 90. Tapos kinuha ni Sir Freddy yung 20% ng 90. Ano nga yung 20% ng 90?
18.
18. So meaning to say, sa first mo, nag-subtract ka ng 10%. Sa second mo, nag-subtract ka ng 18%. So 10% plus 18% would give you 28% as well. Pero tama din yung ginawa ni Sir Freddy. Yung kanya, naging from 90, sinubtract na yung 80, naging 72, yung final price. So 100 minus 72 gives us 28% as well. Meron pong ibang formula. Yung ginamit ko po is yung pinaka-simple na shortcut. Using the complement, no? Diba kapag so you subtract the product of the complements from 1 or 100%. So kapag nag-subtract ka ng 10%, syempre 90% na yung babayaran mo nun. That's why I have here 0.90. Kapag babawasan mo siya ng 20%, syempre mababawasan siya. I mean, yung matitira sa kanya is 80%. That's why I have here 0.80. That's why multiplying 0.90 and 0.80, subtracting it from 1 will give you the pretty straightforward answer. Again, depende rin po ha. So that becomes 1 minus 0.90 times 0.80 is 0.72. So 1 minus 0.72 is 0.28. And again, to express this in percent, you multiply by 100 and attach the percent symbol. That's why overall, the original price of the product was decreased by 28%. So letter A din po. So talagang meron pong composite formula. No? So depende po. Remember po ha, minsan yung knowledge po natin ay nag-iiba. Tapos minsan po yung tinuturo sa schools natin ay iba-iba din. So it's good from time to time po no, that we share some ideas and we are also learning from the ideas of others. Okay. So thank you po. So tama nga po, letter A yung tamang sagot. Okay, good job. 41. Mr. Isidro would like to buy a refrigerator at 30,000 pesos. He is required of a down payment of 5,000 pesos and he will pay the rest at 8% interest for 12 months. How much will his monthly payment in Philippine pesos be? Should it be 21, 2220? I mean 2,100, 2,220, 2,250, or 2,500? So many of you answered letter C. Let's see if that's correct. So syempre, because you have a down payment of 5,000 pesos, this tells us that you have a remaining balance of 25,000 pesos. And take note, you will get yung interest ay mag-a-apply lamang sa balance mo and not sa total price ng product. So remember po, to get the interest, in this case, you will be solving for the final amount na need mong bayaran. So that's ito po yung price, no? Ito po yung kukunan natin ng interest at saka i-add yung interest sa amount to get the final amount na i-divide mo later on into for your monthly installments. So that's 25,000 pesos. Ito yung price plus yung 25,000 times 0.08 times 1. Bakit 1? Kasi di ba 12 months? And 12 months is equivalent to 1 year. That's why po, I made instead, because remember, no, if possible, we have to convert it in years in using this formula. So from here, we have the final amount, which is 27,000 pesos. And what does this mean? This means that this 27,000 pesos will be divided equally for your 12 installments. That's why Mr. Isidro's monthly payment should be 27,000 pesos divided by 12, which is 2,250 pesos. Indeed, letter C. Galing po. Congratulations. Good job. Thank you po, Sir PJ and Sir Freddy, and to everyone who commented their answers. 42. How long in years should 25,000 pesos be invested at 5% simple interest so that it would become 30,000 pesos? Is it 4, 4.5, 5, or 5.5? I could see many A's. And if you don't mind, paano kaya? Ano po yung ginawa mong method for this? Would you like to share with us po? Sir Marvin, ano po yung ginawa mo? Sir
Can you hear
Marvin?
me po?
Yes, yes po.
From the same formula po na I equals per PRT, but yung hinahanap kasi natin is yung time. So we have to divide both side by P times R. So T equals I over P times rate.
Pero yung concern ko po is, given, paano mo po kukunin yung interest? How did you solve for I po?
30,000 minus 25,000.
Very good. Tama.
That is the interest.
Good job. That's actually correct. So the interest is simply the difference of your final amount and your and the amount you invested. That's why the interest here is 5,000 pesos, and it's given that your P is 25,000, your rate is 5% or 0.05 as a decimal, and your T is the one that we're looking for, and your I is 5,000. So using your algebra, you could have 5,000 equals 25,000 times 0.05 times T. The 25,000 times 0.05 is 1,250. That's why you have the equation 5,000 equals 1,250 T, dividing both sides by 1,250, as what Sir PJ in our chat pointed out, it gives us 4 years. Indeed, letter A again po. Yeah, yun yung gusto ko. Marami sa atin ang willing mag-share ng ideas. Alam ko marami sa atin dito ang magagaling. No? So we take note po ha. We really appreciate all of your efforts and keep on going lang po. Tama rin po yung sinabi ni Ma'am Algin na time is equal to interest over PR. Yung ginawa po ni Ma'am ay para makasave po sa time, which is very good po Ma'am, dividing both sides by PR, no? Kasi T lang naman yung hinahanap natin. That's why T is equal to I divided by the product of P and R. So thank you po Ma'am Algin. Anyway, yun yung kinagalingan ng mate. Iba-iba man yung solution natin, iisa pa rin ang tamang sagot. Okay, thank you po. Sana all. Okay, 43. This refers to the collection of objects with a common characteristic. Did you say group? Did you go for aggregate? Group, set, or power? So I could see now a lot of C's, and if you answered C, you are actually correct. The term that's being defined here is what we call set. Kapag sinabi naman po nating it's power is not, of course, I think you know that. Aggregate, it's simply a collection. Group, if we are talking about mathematics, no, in abstract algebra, so group is a set. For example, if you have a certain set and it satisfies certain, I believe there are 4 things na niyang isatisfy. Yung closure property, yung associativity, the existence of your unique identity element, and the inverse property, no? Then group siya. But what is being referred to here is what we call set. Okay. Thank you. 44. The set of natural numbers n equals 1, 2, 3, 4, comma, ellipsis is an example of a or an blank set. Is it finite, infinite, null, or equivalent? Okay, this time, very good po. No? Marami po sa atin ang sumagot ng letter B. Okay, sige nga po. Ano po yung idea ninyo ng kapag sinabi nating finite set? Ano po yan? Finite set. Pero okay, so sabi ni Sir Kim, yung finite set, it has limit or may limit no, or limited, which is actually correct. A finite set has limited cardinality, meaning to say it has a fixed number of elements. Okay. How about naman po yung, so actually the correct answer here is infinite. So when we speak about infinite sets, it is a set with unlimited cardinality. In this case, no, there you could see that it has a first term. You are having a sequence of terms, and there is 3 dots. What do you call these 3 dots again? Okay, Sir Freddy mentioned it here. These 3 dots. These 3 dots are what we call ellipses. And after the ellipses, you cannot see another element. So this is telling us that the pattern continues indefinitely and that it has an infinite or unlimited cardinality. Hence, the set of natural numbers is an example of what we call infinite set. Kapag sinabi naman nating null set, ano po yan? Null set is a set with no element. So its cardinality is 0. Tama yan, Sir Kim, no? Yung infinite sets parang forever. Yan. Pero be careful po ha, hindi po lahat ng may ellipses ay finite, ay infinite. There are some sets po na even though may ellipses, basta after ng ellipsis, meron pang isang term or may term pa dyan, then it's most like it is finite. Basta may last term, infinite. My first term at saka last term, finite yon. And lastly, kapag sinabi naman nating equivalent sets, 2 or more sets that have the same cardinality po. Kapag sinabi nating cardinality, magkakaparehas yung number of elements ng bawat set. Hence, letter B is the correct answer po. Okay. So far, parang confident ako. I think maraming makaka-perfect sa part na to siguro. 45. What can you say about sets A with elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Ay, sorry. B po ito boy. Pakipalitan po sa copy ninyo. B po ito. Sorry po. What can you say about sets A with elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and B with elements A, B, C, D, E? They are both equal and equivalent. They are equivalent. For B, they are equivalent but not equal. C, they are equal but not equivalent. Or letter D, they have different cardinality. Okay. Bakit marami sa inyo ang sumagot ng B? Okay. Could someone please tell us po? Feel free to raise your hand if you wish to tell us kung paano po, or feel free to open your mic if you wish po. Ano nga ba yung pinagkaiba ng equal sets sa equivalent sets? Okay. Sabi ni Sir Freddy dito, equivalent sets have the same cardinality. So 2 or more sets are equivalent kung magkakaparehas yung kanilang cardinality. How about naman kapag sinabi nating equal sets? Ano yun? Sabi ni Ma'am Mariel, equivalent lang po, meaning same cardinality but not equal. Okay, sabi ni Sir Marvin at saka ni Ma'am Lois, equal sets, same element and same cardinality. And sabi ni Sir Mitra, I think same thought din po. Sabi ni Sir Marvin, same thought din po. And I do agree with that. Equal sets, 2 or more sets are equal that if they have the same elements and cardinality. And they are equivalent kapag magkakaparehas yung kanilang cardinality. Tandaan po natin, ang lahat ng equal sets ay equivalent at the same time. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na equivalent siya na equal sila. So you could see clearly, no, na parehas silang may 5 elements, pero hindi equal yung kanilang elements. The fact na meron silang 5 elements each, they are equivalent. But the fact also na yung kanilang elements ay magkakaiba, therefore hindi sila equal. Hence, they are equivalent but not equal, letter B. Okay. Okay, thank you po to everyone who gave us the rationalization or their explanation as well of the item. That's well appreciated po. Okay. Dumako po tayo sa number 46. How many subsets does the set A with elements A, B, C, D, E, F, G have? 32, 64, 128, or 256? Okay. Could somebody please comment po? Ano po bang formula to determine the number of subsets? Okay, tama po. So the subset formula is 2 raised to n. Tama po. Where n here refers to the number, it refers to the cardinality of a finite set in this case. So since your elements here, set A has 7 elements, then it has 2 raised to 7 times 128 subs, 2 raised to 7, or 128 subsets. Hence, it is letter C. Take note po, in this 128 subsets, some of them has no element, which is your null set. Some has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 elements. So null set and the set itself is a subset of A. Yes po. So now we know. Okay. Thank you po. So you could check po, no? You could write everything if you wish, but I'm sure 128 po yan. Okay. Salamat po. Okay. Let's have the next one. 50 students are joining either the math or physics club or both. If 31 students are joining the math club and 27 students are joining the physics club, how many students are joining both clubs? Is it 7, 8, 13, or 15? Okay, so marami po sa atin ang sumagot din ng letter B. Ma'am Mariel, ano po yung ginawa ninyo? Ma'am Mariel, hello po. O baka hindi siguro maka-open siya. I'm not sure. Baka may concern sa connection. I'm not sure. Venn diagram daw po, sabi ni ma'am. Yes. Okay. So andyan po. Andyan. So makikita po natin, no? Yung sa ating chat po, nag-comment po si Ma'am Mariel. Okay. Sorry. Marami po lang Mariel. Dalawa pala kayo. And I would agree with that, no? So to solve problems like this, there are many ways. So one is you add the total number of, based on the problem, 31 for math and 27 for physics. So that's 31 plus 27, which is 58. Pero, di ba 50 students lang? And that's why I have to agree with your solution as well, that 50 should be subtracted from 58. And that gives us 8 students who join both clubs, letter B. So if you will draw po yung Venn diagram nito, so I'm sure na yung intersection ng dalawa ay 8 students po. Okay. Thank you po. Sorry, dalawa pala kayong Mariel. Sorry. Thank you. So B po yung ating tamang sagot. And I agree, no? Is this mutually exclusive events? Okay. Pero merong intersection eh. So check nyo po kung mutually exclusive ba talaga ito. 48. This refers to the if part of a conditional statement. Do you say, is it the conclusion, the hypothesis, the converse, or the inverse? Okay. Marami pa rin sa inyo ang sumagot ng B, which is hypothesis. Okay. And if you answered B, let's see kung tama kayo. Kapag sinabi natin conclusion, no, if you have what we call a conditional statement is an if-then statement. The conclusion is what you call the then part of a conditional. For example, if x is equal to 3, then x plus 3 is 4. The then part is your conclusion. And the correct answer here is in fact hypothesis. It is also called premise, and it is the if part of a conditional statement. For example, if I would say again, if x is odd, then x squared is also odd. If x is odd, that's the if part or the hypothesis. Then x squared is also odd is the then part or also what we call the conclusion. The converse of a conditional statement, to achieve the converse, the hypothesis and conclusion swap position. So the conclusion becomes the hypothesis, takes the position of the hypothesis, and the hypothesis takes the position of your conclusion. And inverse, it's the negation of both hypothesis and conclusion of a given conditional. If P, for example, if your conditional is if P, then Q, yung kanyang inverse ay if not P, then not Q. So to everyone who answered B, you got it right po again. So good job po. Pero again, if you don't get it, it's okay. So what's important is that we are discussing it right now. 49. The conjunction of a true and the false statement is it false, true, may be true or false, or neither true nor false? Sige nga po. Paki-comment po ng ating sagot. So far, okay. Ano po yung pagkakaintindi ninyo kung meron po tayong mga propositions? Ano po yung pagkakaintindi ninyo kapag sinabi nating conjunction? Yes, Sir Freddy?
Ang conjunction, sir, a statement is only true if both statements are true. And if one of the statement is false, they are automatically false.
Tama. And if we, okay, thank you po, Sir Freddy. That's very good po. Or in general, if you have two or more statements na ginagamitan po ninyo ng conjunction, usually po, no, you could see a conjunction, di ba dalawa po yan? Meron tayong and at saka meron tayong or. Ang conjunction ay and ba or or? Conjunction is conjunction uses, okay, careful po tayo ha, and po dapat. So yun po. If you are joining propositions by and, which is a conjunction, if you have two or more prepositions, if everything is true, yes. If everything po is true, then the conjunction is true as a whole. But ito po yung conjunction, no? Yan po. Yung parang yan po, pero mas ano po, medyo mas mahaba po. Okay? So ito po for a conjunction statement to be true, then all statements or all propositions rather should be true. Hence, kapag lahat ay, for example, kapag lahat ay true pero maliban sa isa, automatic false na yan. That's why true, the symbol for conjunction is like this one. True and false joined by a conjunction and is false in general. Hence, the correct answer here is letter A. Okay. Thank you po. Nakuha po natin. Did you get me po? Kapag merong at least isang mali, automatic mali na. Basta and or conjunction po siya, ha? Okay. Okay. Okay, salamat po. Ay, okay lang po, Ma'am Mariel. It's okay po. What's more important po is natututo po tayo or mayroon po tayong realization. So it's okay. Thank you. How about this one? Disjunction naman po tayo. Kapag disjunction naman po, ano pong yung ginagamit? And or ang disjunction ay or naman po. Okay? Or for disjunction. So if you are joining statements po, no, or let's say propositions using the term or, for example, let's say Thomas is lying or Thomas is telling the truth. For example, like that, no? So paano nga ba tayo? So kapag merong true at saka false, the disjunction of a true and a false statement, or you will join them by the word or. Is it false? Is it true? Maybe true or false, or neither true nor false. Let's see. And sabi ni Sir Freddy, false daw. True. Okay, let's see kung saan ang tama. To make it simple for everyone, for a disjunction statement to be true, then at least one of the statements should be true. For example, basta merong at least isa, if you have two or more po ha, basta merong isa na true sa kanila, kahit napakarami pang false na kasama ng mga propositions, true din po yan sa kabilugan. Sana all true, sana all. That's why po, the disjunction of a true or a false statement is true. So letter B. Yung hugot dito ay simple lang. Sa conjunction, ang hugot ay kahit gaano karaming tama, basta merong isang mali, automatic mali yon. Pero sa disjunction naman, kahit gaano karami ang mali, basta merong isang tama, tama yan. So, humuhugot lang si sir natin. Yes, kunwari hugotero tayo. Okay. Okay, Char. Disjunction ba kayo ng friend mo or ng jowa mo? Joke lang po ha, or conjunction. Joke lang po tayo. Okay. So at least po ha. Yes. Kailangan nating humugot minsan, no? Upang, let's say, no, parang mas madali siyang matandaan minsan. Oo nga naman. Okay, 52. Okay, sorry. A false statement implying a true statement. Wait. A false statement implying a true statement is a statement that is blank in general. Is it true? Is it false? Is it true? Maybe true or false, or neither true nor false. So it's like saying po, no, true implies false. Or kung implication, kung ano siya, conditional, if true, if false, then true. Okay? Tandaan po natin, meron pong 4 na possibilities. Pwedeng true-true, pwedeng true-false, pwedeng false-true, or false-false, yung ating conditional. Tandaan po natin ha, para mabilis po tayo. An implication statement is only false if true implies false. Yung alam mong tama yung conclusion mo, pero naging mali. Kung tama yung premise mo, or yung hypothesis mo, pero mali yung conclusion mo, yun lang yung false. The rest, true implies true, false implies true, or false implies false are all true in general. That's why po, the correct answer here is letter B. Okay. Stamen, sorry. Statement po yan sorry. Okay, mali. Okay. That is true in general. Okay. Do you have questions po about 51? Or kung wala naman, bulaklak. Ay nako. Thank you po, Sir PJ at Ma'am Kopi. Sir Freddy, sige lang. Naka-iPhone tayo eh. Yang naman ako. Okay. Joke lang po. May nasabi ba akong stamen kanina? Sorry, baka nagkamali ako ng type. Sorry, ito pala. Statement, sorry. Thank you for that, no? Nakita nyo, ang galing. Okay. Cash po yan. Okay. Yan yung gusto ko. Okay, sige po. So B po for 51. 52. When we say biconditional po, it is an if and only if statement. For example, an angle is right if and only if it measures 90 degrees. That's an example of what we call biconditional. It's an if and only if statement. When is a biconditional true? A, both hypothesis and conclusion are false. Or tama po yan, yung IFF. Yan po yung abbreviation niya, yung IFF. B, both hypothesis and conclusion are true. C, both A and B are correct. D, only option B is correct. Okay, so what's your answer for 52? I could see many C's. Tama nga kaya yung letter C? Na both hypothesis and conclusion are false and both hypothesis and conclusion are true? And that is correct. Tandaan po natin, a biconditional statement is true if both hypothesis and conclusion have the same truth value. Meaning po, it's either both are true or both are false. So options A and B are correct. That's why letter C is the correct answer. Okay. 53. Which of the following is the converse of P implies Q? Or pwede din siyang basahin, if P, then Q. According to, 53, letter A daw, sabi ni Sir PJ, ni Ma'am Catherine, ni Ma'am Pat, ni Ma'am Judy, ni Ma'am Melody, ni Sir Freddy, ni Sir Kim, ni Sir Marvin as well. So, okay. Is it Q implies, if Q, then Q implies P, not P implies not Q implies not P, or not Q implies P? So, for us to have this one, let's discuss the answer here. Kapag sinabi po nating letter A, yan po actually yung tamang sagot. Because when we say converse, we simply switch the positions of the premise and your conclusion. So Q implies P. Anong tawag sa B? Yung not P implies not Q. Yung ito po yung statement natin, pero dinegate po natin yung both hypothesis and conclusion. It's what you call the inverse of that conditional. I mean of your conditional rather. Letter C naman po, kapag not Q implies not P, yan po yung tinatawag nating contra-positive. To achieve the contra-positive po, it's simple. Una, i-converse ko po siya like this. And after mo pong i-converse, kunin mo po yung inverse nun. Tandaan po natin ha, Yung contrapositive, positive is the inverse of the converse. And tandaan din po natin that the given conditional is simply the equivalent of its contrapositive because they have the same truth value po. And letter D is wrong. Letter A is the correct answer. Kung di siya para sa'yo, para siya sa iba. Tigil-tigilan mo ako. Kung di siya para sa'yo, pilitin mo. Okay, biro lang po. Nakuha po natin? Sir Freddy, grabe ka naman. Okay. Okay. 54. Kayo ha, ang the dark na mga isipan ninyo. Okay po, 54. A square and a 14 cm by 10 cm rectangle have the same perimeter. What is the area in centimeters squared of the square? 64, 100, 121, or 144? Okay. Saglit lang po ah. Okay, so far I have plenty of these. Okay, so ano pong ginawa natin? So, for this case, may I ask you to explain your work for us, Ma'am Bingkay, kung okay lang po? Ma'am Kabural. O baka siguro hindi available si Ma, I'm not sure. I think we have here, no? So I actually, we could see here po, no, sa ating chat, yung steps na ginawa po ni Ma'am Mariel Inocencio. So yung ginawa po ni Ma'am ay kinuha muna niya yung perimeter ng rectangle, which is also I would agree with. And I also utilized the concept of Sir Freddy Tanlawan, which is, remember, yung perimeter po ng square ay 4S, which is equal to the perimeter of the rectangle. And to get the perimeter of the rectangle, we could utilize the formula twice the sum of your length and width. That's why makikita po din po natin, no, same sa process ni Ma'am Mariel Inocencio, na magiging 4S, yung kanyang perimeter po ay magiging 2 times 24 cm, which is 48 cm. And since, gaya nga po ng sinabi natin kanina, equal po yung perimeter ng square sa rectangle, and since the perimeter of your square is 4S, and we need to get the value of a side length, dividing both sides by 4 gives us a side length of a square, which is 12 cm. And in agreement also to what Ma'am Mariel mentioned, kasi area ng square yung hinahanap natin eh. So side square lang naman yan. That's why we will have A is equal to S squared. And that gives you 144 centimeters squared. Indeed, letter D nga po yung ating tamang sagot. So sa lahat po, very good. 55. What is the circumference in centimeters of a circle with R equals 10 cm? Is use pi equals 3.14, 62.8, 125.6, 157, 340. Okay. We could see here a lot of A's. Okay, could you please comment po? Ano nga po yung formula nung area, ay nung circumference nga po pala ng isang circle? Paki-comment po. Okay, 2 pi r, and I agree with that. So circumference equals 2 pi r. Thank you po sa lahat ng nag-comment. So C is equal to 2 times 3.14 times 10 cm. So 2 times 3.14 as the value of our pi times the radius, which is 10 cm, multiplying everything gives us 62.8 centimeters, letter A. Let's proceed. I think this one is self-explanatory. 56. A triangle has an area of 80 cm squared. If its base measures 20 cm, how long is its altitude in cm? 8, 9, 10, or 11? Okay, sabi ni Ma'am Ayla, ni Ma'am Judy, ni Ma'am Catherine, ni Sir Kim, ni Sir Freddy. Letter A, the same with Ma'am Lois, with Sir PJ as well. And let's see kung tama. We know that the formula for the area of a triangle is A equals 1/2 times BH, where A represents the area, base is B, and your H is your height. Actually, no, I agree with the work of Ma'am Patton. If you wish po kasi, you could solve for the given value first. You could solve for the given variable. And after you express that variable in terms of the other variables po, then doon ka magsa-substitute. No problem po yan. So, thank you po Ma'am Judy for sharing. That's why, kung isosolve mo po yung height, yung labas po niyan ay magiging twice the area divided by the base. But for my case, I employed direct substitution. So that would be 80 cm in square unit cm, I guess, times 1/2 times 20h. Ay, okay. Paki-comment nga po ano nga yung sagot for 53 to 55. Thank you po. Paki-comment na lang po sa ating chat po. Salamat. Yung 56 po, ngayon lang po natin i-discuss po. So, so that's 80 equals 1/2 times 20 times h. Kasi given naman yung area at saka yung base na 20. So, from here, sa right-hand side po natin, 1/2 times 20 times h is 10h. That's why 80 is equal to 10h. And dividing both sides by 10 to get the value of h po, we get h equals 8. So therefore, the height of our triangle is 8. Letter A. So 53A, 54D, 55A, 56 is also A. Thank you. 57. What is the sum of the interior angles in degrees of an octagon? 720, 900, 1080, or 1 to 60? Okay, thank you po. According to Sir Kim, he commented C, the formula is 180 times 8 minus 2, and I agree with that. Because if you could still recall, the formula for the sum of all the interior angles of a convex polygon is S is equal to 180 degrees times n minus 2, where n here represents the number of sides of that particular polygon. Tama po, Ma'am Judy. And since we have an octagon whose number of sides is 8, because octo means 8, so that's 180 degrees times 8 minus 2, and that's 180 degrees times 6, and of course, that's 1080 degrees, which is letter C po. So I believe na marami pong nakakuha, or I think lahat ata sa inyo nakakuha ng 57 na letter C. Okay. 58. An angle is 3 times its supplement. Find the angle in degrees. Is it 22.5, 45, 77.5 or D, 135. Wow, bilis si Sir Kim ah. Sir Freddy commented D. Sir Kim also commented D. And he gave us the expression which is x is equal to thrice or 3 times of 180 minus x. D was also commented by Ma'am Catherine, Ma'am Judy, and Sir PJ. And let's see if you got it right. Kapag sinabi nga nating supplement, ilan yung sum nila? Yung sum nila dapat ay 180 degrees. Yung complementary naman, yung sum nila ay 90 degrees. So, iba-iba man tayo ng process, no? So, yung process ni Sir Freddy ay 3x plus x equals 180. Yung process naman ni Sir Kim ay x equals 3 times the thrice the difference of 180 and x. And actually both are correct. So in my case, let x be the angle. So 180 minus x is the supplement of that angle. Bakit ko siya sinubtract sa 180? Kasi nga, di ba, sabi natin kanina, two angles are supplementary if their difference or if they add up to 180 degrees. That's why if one angle is x, then the other angle is x subtracted from 180. That's why this angle here is 3 times of 180 minus x. So distributing the 3, that's x equals 540 minus 3x. Subtract, adding both sides by 3x, no? So you could see po, if I will add both sides by 3x, yung left-hand side ko ay magiging 3x plus x, which is the same as that of Sir Freddy. That's why yung kay Sir Freddy, tama din po yan. So 4x equals 540. Dividing both sides by 4 gives us x equals 135. And indeed, letter D. Okay. Okay, so Sir Freddy, Sir PG, hindi mo lang na-multiply. Okay. Actually, I think yung kay Sir Freddy, binigay niya lang yung initial equation lang, siguro. Okay, thank you po to everyone who commented as well. Okay. Oh, pero tama nga naman, di ba? Kasi kapag sinimplify nga natin, 135 nga pa rin. Yun nga yung kinagandahan ng math. 59. What is the approximate volume of a sphere? Okay, wrong grammar. What is the approximate volume of a sphere whose radius is 8? Use pi equals 3.14. Did you go for A, B, C, or D? Okay. Okay, may kinoment ata si Ma'am Judy na formula. 4-3. Okay. Yung kay Sir Kim is 4/3 pi r times 8 raised to 3. Okay. I think, okay. So kay Sir Freddy, 4/3 pi r cube. Okay. And I think yung sagot siguro ni Ma'am ni Ma'am Judy ay meron din siyang over siguro. And I agree with that, no? The formula for the volume of a sphere is V equals 4/3 pi r cube, where r here represents the radius of your circle. Okay, no problem po, Ma'am Judy. Now, so by substitution, magiging V is equal to 4/3 times the pi that we will be using is 3.14 times 8 cubed. So 8 raised to 3 will be, you have to raise this to 3 first, no? Then 4/3 times 3.14 times 8 cubed will give you a volume which is in cubic units here. And that's approximately 2,143.57, letter D. So, D nga po yung tamang sagot natin. So, very good po. So, sa lahat ng nag-comment, yeah, tama po. Magaling, magaling, magaling. And 60 for tonight. what is the surface area in centimeters squared? Mapa-perfect kaya? Yan yung tanong. Tingnan natin kung marami maka-perfect or kung meron kaya maka-perfect. What is the surface area in cm squared of a cube whose edge measures 10 cm? Did you go for 450, 600, 650, or Ariel? 750. So far, okay, sabi, okay, nag-comment si Ma'am Judy dito ng formula A or surface area, no? It's 6a squared. Same with Sir PJ, with Sir Freddy. S man or A yung ginamit nyo, I think we know the meaning, no? That A or S here in this context represents the what? Ano yung nire-represent ng S or ng A sa formula? Nung S lang. Okay, ito yung counterpart, yung sinasquare mo, ito yung side ba yan or edge? It is actually an edge po. So it is the length of an edge of a cube, or in this case po, no, siguro, if you are just referring to the square side. Pero the better term po, no, is edge. Kasi this is a three-dimensional figure po. Okay? That's why the formula is SA or surface area equals 6s squared. Bakit 6s squared? Kasi yung s squared represents because diba yung faces ng cube natin ay square. At saka yung area ng square ay s squared. Pero as what Sir Freddy mentioned in our chat, meron siyang 6 na face. That's why to get the area, it's 6s squared or 6 times the area of 1 square. Okay, it's okay, sir, because when I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change because we are all amazing, right? Just the way we are. Okay, and since our edge measures 10 cm here, so SA is equal to 6 times the square of your edge, which is 10 cm. 10 cm squared becomes 10 times 10, which is 100 cm squared. So 6 times 100 cm squared gives us 600 cm squared, which is now letter B. So kung nakuha po ninyo yung letter B for number 60, you got it right po. Okay, so sige nga po. Okay. Okay, I hope you got it po. Okay, so the perfect score po is 30. Usually po, no, I'm not sure. Kasi dati po sa amin ha, I'm not sure sa inyo ngayon kung applicable siya. Kung nakakakuha ka ng half niya, parang yun ata yung tinatransmute sa 75%. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure if that's the same thing now. Okay. If you got at least 15, then you passed. Okay? Okay, let's see. Everyone, if you passed or if you got at least a score of 15, please comment yay. Okay. Okay. You can just comment yay if you passed. Like that. Let's see. If you got at least 15 po, comment yehey muna para makita natin. Okay, aba, gusto ko yan. Maraming letter E, the better. Okay, so very good po, no? So marami po sa atin I hope lahat po tayo, I believe po na lahat po tayo, or kung hindi man lahat, almost lahat. Okay, may naka-30 po ba? May naka-perfect po? Paki-comment po ng score ninyo sa ating GC po, sa ating chat. Tingnan ko lang po. I'm curious po kung ilan po yung nakuha ninyo. Okay. Paki-write lang po ng score ninyo. Okay, we have 26, 28, 22, 29, 18, 29, 28. Okay. May naka-30 ba? Okay. Aba, sana all. Si Sir Freddy naka-30 siya. Okay. Sir Freddy, siya yung naka-iPhone. Sir Freddy, di ba ikaw yung iPhone? Yung dati yung pangalan mo iPhone? Sana all. Iba talaga kapag naka-iPhone. Biro lang po. Pero that's a good job, no? That's a good job po for everyone. And I believe that each one of us passed po, no? Or got a score of at least 15. So that's well done. So number 55 talaga naligwak. It's okay. Okay lang po yan, sir. Kaya mangutang na kayo ng iPhone. Sir, aanin mo ang iPhone kung wala kang iPhone. Joke lang po. Kidding aside. So far, so good po. So we will, I'll stop the recording po. Pahingi po ng brain cells. Okay. Sana, ano, no? So with that, no? So thank you very much po for tonight, and that ends our session. Okay. Questions po or clarifications before we leave? So at least po, no, we started early, and somehow we were able to finish also ahead. Okay, so thank you po sa lahat-lahat. I hope na may na-learn po tayo. I hope po that even though po na hindi po tayo naka-perfect, yung mahalaga po is that we are learning something. There are some realizations. There are some things na na-correct po natin, and hopefully this will make us better individuals as we prepare for the licensure examination for teachers. Take note po ha, that our preparation now is not only for the LET, but also your preparation for life when you become in-service teachers as well. With that po, I'll stop sharing. And I will, madamo gid nga salamat in Hiligaynon. And I hope that same time, same place, same link. Sir Freddy, you have a question po? Sir Freddy?
Wala, sir. Sir, kapindutan ko lang.
Ikaw, sir, ha?
Kapindutan, sorry.
Sige, sige. So I am also an Ilonggo, and I could understand that Sir Freddy is speaking Hiligaynon as well. So with that po, no, I'll pause or stop the recording.